What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Tanner Wideman of Barbarian Body. Today we've got an absolutely insane chest and triceps gym workout routine. We're gonna be going through 5 incredibly difficult exercises. Guys, if you're looking to add some mass to those pecs and to those ceps, this is the routine you're gonna wanna try. Let's get straight into it. All right, to kick things off, we're gonna begin this workout here with our chest, and we're gonna focus initially on one of the most lagging areas, and guys, personally for me as well, the upper chest, and we're gonna begin with some incline dumbbell bench presses for 4 sets of 5 repetitions. Now, here's the first mistake that you guys wanna avoid. Just going into the bench and just beginning to press. Now, a lot of you guys will typically say, I don't feel the bench press in my chest, and rather I feel it more so in my deltoids. And that's because of lack of what you just saw me do right there, scapular retraction. So as you can see right here, this is the way most guys perform their bench press. Scapula's loose, it's moving all over the place. What I'd like you guys to do instead is to retract the scapula, roll back the shoulders, pinch them, and hold them there throughout the entire range of motion. This is going to help to put your shoulders back, remove some of the roll of the deltoid, and allow you to hit your pecs a lot better. Now, the next mistake to avoid, guys, come on, these shitty half repetitions so that you can look like you're a boss on your Instagram videos. I want you to come down for a full range of motion. As you can see the difference right here. This is why the utilization of dumbbells is so great for this exercise, because it allows more of a range of motion. So definitely take advantage of that and stop using such shallow reps. Just because you're lifting heavy doesn't mean you need to sacrifice your form and perform absolutely garbage reps. Now, time for our second pec exercise here, and this is really gonna help us to hit the sternal area of the chest, or your middle area of your chest. We're gonna be getting some dumbbell squeeze presses for 3 sets of 10 repetitions. Now, while you're performing each rep, you're focusing on literally trying to crush those dumbbells between your hands. That's how hard you're trying to contract your pecs. Now, you don't wanna just focus on, I'm using my hands to squeeze this together, but rather develop the mind-muscle connection, which I know some of you don't have yet, but it's a good way to practice it and develop, and focus on crushing the dumbbells by contracting your pec muscles. Now, what we're doing is for 1 second on the way up, obviously we're squeezing them together. And even on the way down, which is where most people tend to mistake this exercise, you're gonna be coming down for 2 seconds, still focusing on squeezing those dumbbells together as hard as possible. And here's the improper way to perform it. Literally, there is no tension in between those dumbbells. There's no attempt to try and crush them together. They are just loosely connected, and this is really going to take the effectiveness out of the exercise. Focus on trying to crush those dumbbells, and you'll maximize the amount of recruitment from your pecs. Now, the next exercise we're getting into here to really focus on that lower portion of the chest are gonna be some cable push downs. You essentially wanna think of this as a dip. However, to make this exercise actually more effective than a dip, you're gonna bring your hands together at the bottom. So it's sort of like a press combined with a fly here. Now, the first mistake to avoid is to begin using some spinal extension and flexion throughout the range of motion here. You wanna keep your torso completely still. Now, this angle right here is gonna give you a great example of what I mean when you're bringing those hands together. You don't wanna just bring your hands down and keep them apart. And in addition too, when we're bringing those hands towards each other, you're actually incorporating about a 1 to 2 second isometric hold. Now, we're not just keeping our hands down there and doing nothing just for the sake of holding the cables there. What we're focusing on doing, similarly to the squeeze press, is holding them there and squeezing our pecs together as hard as we possibly can. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna bring those arms to the point where your elbow is at about a 90-degree angle. 3 sets of 10 repetitions. That concludes the chest portion of this workout. Let's get into the triceps. Now, moving on to the triceps, we're gonna be getting some single arm overhead dumbbell extensions, 3 sets of 10. So you're gonna complete 10 on the right, and then directly after with no rest, 10 on the left. Mistake number 1 to avoid, half repetitions. You wanna focus on bringing that dumbbell down literally as far down as you possibly can while you can keep your arms stationary so you can get a full stretch of the long head of the triceps, which this exercise targets here. Mistake number 2 here, this shoulder adduction, where my upper arm is moving through every single rep. Again, focus on keeping upper arm from elbow to shoulder locked, and this is gonna help you to strictly isolate the triceps. Mistake number 3, pressing when you should be extending and utilizing your shoulders for every rep because you're using too much weight. Lock in your upper arm and strictly hinge at your elbow. And here's what the exercise should look like. Full range of motion. I'm getting nice and low, getting a full stretch of the triceps. Upper arm is stationary. There's no shoulder adduction. There's no momentum, no half repetitions. This one's killer, but wait until we got the next exercise. We're gonna totally finish off the triceps here. Finishing exercise, we're gonna be getting into some cable extensions with the donkey nuts, and we're gonna actually finish with a pronation at the bottom to help to activate the lateral head of your triceps. Mistake number 1 to avoid, pressing the weight. Again, this is always typically an outcome of using too much weight. If you have to throw your entire torso into the exercise and get spinal flexion, it's typically because you're using just too much weight. Next exercise to avoid, the stop and go, zero utilization of eccentrics. Time under tension is absolute shit. Again, lower the weight here. Next mistake here, half repetitions. If your arms aren't completely locking out at the bottom of the range of motion, man, you're leaving a lot of gains on the table. Now here we're getting a closer look at the pronation or the lack of pronation in this demonstration here. I don't want you to just pull those handles apart or the donkey nuts apart. Rather, as you can see here, we want those hands to be in complete pronation at the bottom. This is what's gonna be able to maximize you being able to hit the lateral or outer head of your triceps. So as you can see me performing from the side view, we got a full range of motion. We've got great tempo. We've got pronation of the hands at the bottom. And as well, there's no spinal flexion, helping me to cheat the reps down and to incorporate my chest and my shoulders throughout the exercise. Again, 3 sets of 15 repetitions, and this concludes your chest and triceps workout routine. Normally I'll ask you guys to comment something down below, such as my white deer with golden antlers. Today, instead of doing that, why don't you guys head on over to the link that I'm gonna have either in the description or the first pinned comment, and head on over to our private Facebook group community. If you're looking for support, exclusive content from me, and actually you can get a little bit more one-on-one in-depth answers from me, guys, I'm telling you, this is the place for you. You're gonna love it. So head on over to that link down below, and also be sure to subscribe for weekly workout tips and nutrition tips that you will not want to miss. Thank you so much for joining me, you guys. I'll see you all in the next video.